Oh, let me unmute.
Oh, sorry. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Adenike. Good morning. You're welcome. Thank you for joining our info session today. Please, I can see a lot of people joining in. Please, you could just in the chat box tell us your name, where you're from. So my name is Owolabi, everybody. I'm from Lagos. I'm joining the meeting from Lagos. You could do that. And I will play a short video while then after that, our executive director.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Adenike Adeyemi, and I'm the Executive Director for Faith Foundation. And I'm on behalf of Faith Foundation, I welcome all of you who are joining our information session on the Faith Scholar Program. I do have to ask, first of all, that we should all mute. There are quite a number of our Zoom that is on mute. I'm happy to see our faces on video, but if most of us are not muted, then what happens is we then get the interference from others. And Olabi, if we can also have admin also mute everybody on entering so that when they're entering, we're muted. So please, everyone should mute so that we can have a very good, seamless conversation today. So once again, my name is Adenike Adeyemi. I am the Executive Director for Faith Foundation. You're all welcome to the information session for the Faith Scholar Program. As Olabi said, today we're going to just spend the next 40 to 50 minutes to walk through this scholarship program that we're just launching this year, talk about who we are at Faith Foundation, what the Faith Giving Program is about, and then talk about the Faith Scholars Program. We know that some of you here are people who are also applied for the program already. So some of you have already put in your applications or you're about to complete your application. And so we hope that, this conversation will provide a bit more clarity to your application process. For those of you who are hearing about this for the first time, we hope that this gives you a view of it and, you get a sense of what we intend to do during the course of this. It's great to see everybody who is sending in their chat to say where they're from, and great to see people coming from Benin, Abia, Akwa Ibom, Ebonyi, Ondo. You're welcome, everybody. We're at different parts of Lagos, so we're quite excited to have you. And we appreciate you spending your Saturday morning to join us. So very briefly, I'm just going to share my screen and just talk about Faith Foundation. Just very briefly, for those of us that joined early, we saw sort of like a video showing who we are. So this is, I'm going to just quickly share my screen as we speak. Yes, so Faith, who are we at Faith Foundation? We're a 23-year-old organization. We were founded in 2000, and we're founded by a gentleman called Mr. Fola Adiola. Mr. Fola Adiola is the founder of Guarantee Trust Bank, who we also know as GT Bank. And when he founded the organization, the purpose and the intent of founding the organization was to ensure that we created a platform for young people who are looking to start the path of entrepreneurship, who are looking either to set up a business or looking to grow a business. And so since the year 2000, I'm sure Faith Foundation is older than some or quite a number of those of us that are here. That's really what we've been doing. And we pride ourselves with saying that we're Nigeria's first business incubator and accelerator. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of us on the call are children or siblings or nieces or nephews of people who have gone through Faith Foundation in different ways. I would like to see on the chat group if you were recommended to this program by your dad or a mom who is an alumnus of Faith Foundation. Please let us know in the chat, or by an auntie or an uncle who is an alumnus of Faith Foundation. Please let us know in the chat, and even put the name of the person that recommended you also on that too. So I know that there is a hand raised, there are about 1 or 2 hands raised. Please just put it on the chat if you're recommended by a Faith Foundation alumni, and put the name of the person so that we can say thank you to the person later on. We will not be taking voice questions. The questions we'll be taking will only be questions that are typed in the course of this conversation, just so that we limit, we make very efficient use of the time. So like I said, we're 23-year-old, a nonprofit, and our focus really is to support aspiring and emerging Nigerian entrepreneurs to start, grow, and scale their businesses. Since we have launched Faith Foundation, we've been able to support over 230 aspiring and emerging Nigerian entrepreneurs across 30 states through different programs and short courses that we've organized and we've set up. We've even reached over 600,000 people through our various online portals. And then on the other hand, we have programs where we then do through a period of about 3 to 6 months that we call our short courses and our full-time courses, which are incubation, pre-incubation, owner, manager, and growth programs. And through those, we have graduated over 7,400 entrepreneurs. And I'm very happy to say that from those 7,400 entrepreneurs that we've graduated through our full program, 15 of them, some of them have come from our graduates of programs that we've run in partnership with with universities and polytechnics across 15 tertiary institutions in Nigeria. So we're very proud to say that over the last 4 or 5 years in particular, we've supported students who are currently in the universities or who were finishing at the time through our programs and short courses. Some of them getting not just training, a few of them getting funding and support to be able to build and grow their business registration and the like. And so that really is our reach over the last 23 years. Now, the way Faith Foundation is structured is that we are Faith Foundation as a whole here, and then we have 3 divisions. We have the Faith School, which is our school of entrepreneurship, and that's the place that does all the trainings that we do to support and enable people who are looking to get knowledge, be trained, get mentoring, get advisory support to be able to build their business. Then our second division is the Faith Institute, which is the research and policy advocacy arm of Faith Foundation. The third aspect of the division is the faith giving, and that is where we call our philanthropy arm. The faith giving is the division of Faith Foundation that supports other people, that gives financial support to students, to individuals, to organizations. And the faith giving of the Faith Foundation is the host of today's information session. And so this really is about Faith Foundation and about our organization as a whole. And since I said that the faith giving is the division that supports our work and is hosting us today and really is the one in charge of the Faith Scholar Program, I'm going to invite my colleague who started off to come and talk about the faith giving, who the faith giving is, and then also come and talk about what you're all here to listen to, which is the Faith Scholar Program. So I'm going to stop sharing and then invite my colleague, Owolabi Onomade, to please talk about the faith giving and also the Faith Scholar Program. Over to you, Owolabi.
Okay, thank you very much, Adenike. Welcome again, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Adenike, thank you very much for taking us through all we do at Faith Foundation. As Adenike had mentioned, I'll be walking us through the division of faith giving, which is really the one hosting the Faith Scholar Program that most people have joined in for today. So to begin with, the faith giving is really the third arm of Faith Foundation, and we were established in 2019 to really structure the giving efforts of our founder and chairman, Mr. Fole Adeola. And since then, our thematic areas really for the faith giving division is really in 4 different arms. We have the socio-cultural, the health, and the education, and the governance. You'll be happy to know that the Faith Scholar Program comes under our education efforts. We've done so many other projects with it, but we'll be sticking with the education aspect, which is really what we are about here today. And so the need for the Faith Scholar program itself, we looked at statistics to reach to this particular form. We had over 1,000 in 2021, over 1,000 candidates registered for JAM and direct entry in 2021. And checking our education accessibility rate in Nigeria, it's over 20.1%. In 2000, over 2.1 million Nigerian students applied to tertiary institutions that only had the capacity to take in 525, about 925,000 thereabout. And we also looked at private institutions have really high rates, at least 86% more expensive than public tertiary institutions. And nearly 75% of Nigerian university applicants in Nigeria fail every year, not to then speak really about the amount of people that are able to get job afterwards. And so with that, we had come up with the Faith Scholar program. And really the aim of the Faith Scholar program is really to identify high potential Nigerian students and position them for personal and academic pathways and success. And in doing that, we're going to enable and support them to build careers really along the areas of STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And you could wonder and ask why STEAM, and is that because to say STEAM is really the ones that bring about innovation, change, growth in any developing countries in the world. And we really want to support these high potential students through mentoring, through financial support or financial aid, mentoring, and even internship opportunities for them to grow and to increase the success rate of this particular set of students. And our target audience for the Faith Scholar program really is to say, anyone below 21 years, an high-performing student, someone who wishes to study in any accredited public tertiary institution in Nigeria around STEAM areas. That means still going about science, technology, arts, mathematics, and engineering. And we're looking to see, or for people who really are pre-JAM students, SS3 students who have graduated, who are looking to get admission into the 2023-2024 academic year. And we're looking, at Faith Foundation, we're quite inclusive in our approach. And we're looking to ensure that we have a gender balance. We're aiming for a 50-50 ratio for male and female. Okay, and for our target institutions, we're not limiting ourselves to any institution here in Nigeria. So far, it's a public accredited institution here in Nigeria, polytechnic or federal institution, state university, state and federal university, state polytechnics. So far, it is publicly accredited institutions. We're accepting any of that. And what do you gain to get from this program? The Faith Scholar program would assist you, would provide you with financial aid, and that will go towards your tuition, your support living, your expenses, your books for that. And there will be mentoring. We will also, aside the financial aid that any scholar would get from the Faith Scholar program, there's a mentoring opportunity where you get to get group and one-on-one mentoring opportunities with successful leaders for you to have a personal leadership skills being developed. Also, your career development support will come into that. And there'll be internship opportunities across Faith Foundation at first, and subsequently we're looking to ensure we get internship opportunities outside. So who is eligible for the Faith Scholar program? For you to be eligible, you have to be a citizen of Nigeria, first of all. The Faith Scholar program is open to Nigerian citizens alone at the moment. We're looking for you must not be at least 21 years old at the point of application. You must be an exceptional student. You must have high grades, and you're looking to study within STEM area. And really, this there really gives a brief and broad about what the Faith Scholar program is. At the moment, applications have been running since the beginning of the month, and the application would close the 1st of March this year. And we're looking to ensure that a lot of people who are already filling applications are able to complete. And that's another reason why the info session is available for you to ask questions where you are being challenged, so we could support you with it. And like I've mentioned before, the Scholar program is open for students seeking admission into the 2023-2024 academic year to study STEAM-focused courses in school. The program will support you with financial aid, mentoring, and internship opportunities. At this point, I will just pause and begin to see if anyone has questions. Have you, or rather, let me see, have you started the application? What are the challenges you're facing? we're here to assist you with that. And so I will stop sharing. And like Adenike has said, because to ensure that everything is in order, we'll probably be taking questions from the chat box. I can see some sort of answer.
Thank you, Olabi. I'm thinking that we can sort of do this like as a moderation across the rest, and then start to then take Q&A for Q&A from the participants. So if you can please go again, who is this program? Who is eligible for the Faith Scholar program?
Okay, thank you, Adenike. So those who are eligible for the Faith Scholar program are pre-JAM students, those who have finished secondary school or about finishing secondary school, writing JAM or written JAM or planning to write JAM, and seeking admission, first-year admission into any federal accredited university in this 2023-2024 academic year. That's the academic year that is about to begin. You must be below 21 years old. You must be studying something relating to STEM, that's science, engineering, technology, arts, and mathematics. And you also have to be below 21 years at the point of application.
Yes. So for the schools, for the scholarship support, what specific schools, what types of schools would we support? What types of schools would we not support through the scholarship program?
Thank you, Adenike. So the kind of schools we would not support would be private universities, private institutions, but we'll be supporting anybody attending any accredited public tertiary institutions, whether polytechnic, whether universities, state or federal owned, would be supporting those applicants who are attending those schools or planning to attend those schools.
Thank you. So we're supporting people through federal, state and public universities, colleges of education, and polytechnics and monotechnics. Thank you.
So sorry, Adenike, just to mention, okay, that even goes really what I wanted to say. And so the really to it will be that the scholarship program, it's not a one-time scholarship program. We intend to support scholars, applicants through their course of study in the tertiary institution. And that is when you come into the program, if you're successful and you come into the program, in your first year would support you if you meet certain criteria, which will be stated as applicants get into the program, will be supported in the second year and the third year and the fourth year till they finish their studies in the tertiary institution.
Thank you very much. Can you then give I'm going to go through I'm going to call out the questions for you now. But what is the timeline and the process for application for the review process? What should applicants expect in terms of timeline, review, confirmation, and the like?
Okay, thank you, Adenike. And so at the moment, the most important timeline for you to note is that the application, the registration and the application process closes 31st of March. It was 17th of March before, and we had extended that to accommodate a lot of applications that are yet to be completed. And so first of all, you need to note that the application process is open now, and you can apply before the 31st of March. By the 31st of March, the application process would close, and there are about 3 stages of recruitment, which would inform participants as you successful through each stage. And we're hoping to announce the scholars by August, hopefully. By August, timelines might change because of certain things, but we're looking to announce our scholars by August, so we'll begin support in September this year.
Thank you very much. So we have I'm going to start to read the questions. Boyejo asked that, does this mean first year undergraduates aren't eligible to apply?
So first year undergraduate means you're already in school, you've started school already. If you've started school looking to, by September, you should be in 200 level. Unfortunately, you won't be able to attend at the moment or apply at the moment because we're looking for, the application process is open for those seeking admission into their first year. So if you're already in your first year, I'm sorry, you might not be able to apply.
Thank you. Anointing and Chibu came asked about the essays that somebody said, one of them said they don't understand the essay questions. And so same thing, what are the essay questions that we've asked, and what are people supposed to include in the essay questions?
So the essay questions really are allowed, are set or designed in such a way that you're able to think through and provide your answers. Really just want to see your thought process in arriving at these answers. So I might not be able to, I'm not sure which particular issue you're having, but you could always send us a mail at philanthropy@faithfoundation.org for us to clarify certain things if there are issues regarding the essay questions.
Okay, So thank you.
Thank
Please
you.
provide the email address again on the platform so that if there are any specific questions relating to the application, the process, or you're having issues with the platform, that can be addressed. Okay, so somebody then said that I'm a first year undergraduate and I applied, meaning my application will be deferred. Can you explain? Sorry, Koforola, if you can resend your question on what you mean that your application will be deferred, so that we can understand. I don't want to assume that I know what you mean, but Owolabi, and even in terms of the application details on the website, it did state that we want to support people who are just going into their first year for that. Then somebody has asked for us to please share the scholarship link. So we will please, we would also send that to that. So Owolabi, can you speak again to the type of knowledge course areas that we're looking to support in this program? Because Tada Ayuba has asked if it's open to law students. So if you can please speak to the different course areas, because I want us to be careful that because we didn't specify specific course types. We just said if your fields are in there. So please, over to you.
So I think the best way to answer that would say you just need to check up and see if you really fit into STEM, if your course or the course you're intending to study is within science or falls under technology or engineering, art and mathematics, we would then take you in. Anything outside that, we would not be able to assist you with that. But then it really has to be within STEM, science, technology. So if it doesn't fall under science, falls under technology, doesn't fall under engineering, doesn't fall under mathematics or art, we might not be able to assist you with that. So science-related courses, technology-related courses, engineering-related courses. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would also add that that's also why your essays are important, because even for the person that asked a question in law, I don't know how universities are, to be honest now, but if you're also saying that you're going to study a degree that will then focus on, so for instance, you're going into law, but you intend to be an entertainment lawyer or a lawyer for artists or for science people and everything, I think that that's what we want to see, that you're doing a degree that would, in the end of the day, show how to provide innovation and entrepreneurial thinking into STEM-focused areas. Those are considerations that we will definitely also explore during the review process, and that's why Owolabi is being clear to say we're looking to focus on these areas, but we're not mentioning specific courses with that area. Okay. Dawn is asking, what if I want to write JAM next year and I am in SS3? Can I also use direct entry?
So at the moment, we're not looking at direct entry because direct entry is directly, like we said, we're looking to seek those who are seeking first year admission. So direct entry is going into second year. And so we're not open to that at the moment. We're just going into their first year. So maybe next year things might change, but at the moment we're looking to go through those going into their first year, seeking first year admission into the tertiary institution. So at the moment, no.
Okay, thank you. Abubakar Abdul Kadri is asking that he has a 200 level sibling who is indigent and is interested in the program. Can there be a way he can be granted concession? He's an exceptional student studying pharmacy with a high JAM grade.
So for under the Faith Scholar program at the moment, no. But then we also do not want to we also do not want to take away applicants who feel they can benefit. So you could, like the mail being sent, you could always, it depends on how you're able to then persuade and convince. You could always send us your request via philanthropy@faithfoundation.org for us to look and review that. But for the Faith Scholar program at the moment, that accommodation is not being made.
Okay, so 2 questions from Victory Amos. Is the program open for part-time applicants? So if you're a part-time student, not doing it is it open? That's number 1. And then number 2, from Mwabweze Sarah, if somebody is studying a course under health and technology, is this person eligible? I'm smiling because I think that, Sarah, you need to go and look again at the application, but yeah. Please go on.
So we'll also try to make this recording available, maybe via YouTube for people to be able to listen again. So I think Adenike addressed the last question. But for the first question, yes, you could definitely apply if you're within the eligibility criteria, and that means you're under 21 years old, you're looking to study STEM within STEM focused areas, you're an high performing student, and yes, you're a pre-jam student and you fall into the criteria, please, you could definitely apply and let's see. Yes, you could definitely apply.
Yes, and that same also applies to Collins, who is in medicine and surgery. Of course, medicine and surgery is a science field, so definitely. Omolade Lawal said, can one re-edit their essay after submitting?
Unfortunately, I know
that close on the 17th.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Because the person thought that it will close on the 17th.
Unfortunately, no, you will not be able to re-edit your submission. Once you submitted, it's submitted.
Okay. So thank God, Uzochukwu, you asked if you want to go to a polytechnic and part-time. So yes, this is to support anybody going to a polytechnic, monotechnic, College of Technology, university, College of Education also, as long as it's a federal or state school. However, our preference is for full-time students, not for part-time, because like you said, there's a full round support that is going to this. There's only a limited number of people that we can support over the course of 4 years. And our preference is for people who will be available all through and be able to do this courses as full-time, but would also be available for the mentoring and then the internship programs that we will support. Halimat has a question. What is required for JAM scores? Do we have a requirement?
Definitely, because at the end of the program, we need you to, for participants that get through and become scholars, you need to be able to show that you got admission into school. So definitely you will need to be able to get the score or a JAM score that definitely be able to get you admitted into any tertiary institution. So really, yes, we do not have any preference on our side as long as your JAM score is able to get into school.
Yes, thank you. So as long as the school feels that whatever JAM score you got can get you admission, we're fine with that. For the person with Infinix Smart 6, human psychology definitely is a science scores. And again, there are a few questions around JAM scores. We're not looking for that. So Halima said that, but please, what if you have written JAM last year, but you've not been given admission? And so you then now re-register. Would that be, is that still available?
So if you still match the eligibility criteria and you're yet to get an admission and you're still seeking first year admission, definitely, yes, please definitely do apply for us to review this.
Okay, yes. For Lazarus Ebi, he said that he got admission to school since last year, but he's yet to resume. And again, we understand the changing timelines for admission. He's yet to resume since he has not even paid his acceptance fee and other necessary bills. Is he eligible?
So if you've not yet resumed, and you have an admission, you could apply for us. Yes, you could definitely apply. Please definitely, I advise you to apply for us to review that if you've not resumed school yet, and probably during the course of the application, you will not have resumed school. Yes, please definitely do apply. We'll definitely look into that also.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Oluwaseun, for putting in the link to the scholar application there, and to other faith colleagues who are joining on board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Essay is asking, what if you have already gotten admission, but the school has not started?
So that goes to the last question I asked. Really, it would then be, the question would then be, when does school resume for you?
Yes.
Because we understand, like Adenike said, we understand the changes that's happening, there are a lot of difficulties. Yeah, you could definitely apply as long as you're still going to resume in the 2023-2024 academic year. We'll definitely look into that. Yes, please definitely do apply.
Yes, and then so again, to Olabi's response, we're seeing people who have said, they wrote JAMB last year, they're only going to resume in September, definitely it does apply. And that's why if you noted on the webpage, we had said for 2023 to 2024 academic calendar, we know that a lot of schools are now just trying to regularize their academic calendar again. So Eleazar said that in the essay aspect of the application, I chose one of the topics and wrote my essay on it duly. And when I wanted to submit, I was asked to write on another topic. I don't know if it is 2 essays we are meant to write or one. I'm surprised to hear that, but Olabi, please.
Okay, so the platform has 3 essay questions, very brief essay questions for you to write in. So if you the question will need clarification to say that is it that after completing the whole essay platform, then the platform asks you to submit another essay. If it is that case, please do write also, we could look into that. But if you've completed all essays, and we should be able to submit correctly. But if there are any challenges, please, you could, as mentioned earlier, you could easily send us a mail at philanthropy@faithfoundation.org for us to look at it back end and resolve that for you.
Okay, no problem. So again, there are a lot of JAM related questions. There are a lot of people that are also asking. So Adiola is asking, does accounting fall under STEAM? So maybe one of the things we may need to do, since there are a lot of questions, is also to explain again, Olabi, what type of courses will be under science, under technology, under engineering, under arts, under mathematics?
Okay, so I think I'll use Adenike's response sort of to say you could want to study a particular course, but the variety under the course, because things are in very form. So like Adenike's example to say you want to study law, but you want to do entertainment law, which would then sort of falls into what art would be basically. You could then definitely apply. So it would be any science-related courses, technology-related courses, engineering-related courses, art-related courses, and mathematics-related courses that falls under STEAM for us to do. I think a lot of questions like this are coming up. Maybe we'll also see how we could maybe inform the community, our audience more around that. But then really any related courses regarding science, technology, art, mathematics, and engineering.
Okay. So again, yes, we can't resubmit or re-edit essays. We understand that JAM, a lot of the admissions for this year were the JAM for last year, and JAM is just going to start. So we're not, again, for us, what we're saying is that you'll be eligible when you get admission for end of this year, 2023 to 2024 year. We're not going to ask, was the JAM this year or last year? And so maybe to that, Olabi, can you then speak to the eligibility process again, in terms of the kind of year to entries that we're looking for, because that also seems to be coming up.
So I think if I hear you correctly, to speak to really around which year do you want to, or what set of students are what they're getting admission in, what year are we taking in? So as earlier stated, we're looking for students seeking first year admission into 2023, which should begin September this year. And I know that changes a lot for some schools. Most schools are trying to regularize their academic calendar now. But then for those who would get admission into their first year in what we call 2023 and 2024 academic year, that means the academic year begins this year and then end sometime next year, 2024. So those are the candidates we feel we are eligible for the Faith Scholar program. So you must get admission to begin your first year this year, 2023, and end 2024 next year. That's the first year admission is.
Yes, thank you. And then I like the questions that Grace Fadeji is asking. There are a few questions. So what kind of entrepreneurial experience or skills are you looking for in the applicants? That's number one. Are there specific industries that the scholars have gone into work or start businesses in? But number two for Grace, that has already been addressed through, we just want people who are applying, who are going to be enrolling in STEAM fields. Number three, are there specific academic or extracurricular achievements that FSP applicants should highlight in in their applications? Number 4, how does the FSP approach diversity, equity, and inclusion in its selection and support of, sorry, my apologies, and in its selection and support of scholars? So we can speak around gender spread, geographic spread of gender and application. And then are there specific networking events or opportunities available to FSP scholars, such as conferences or alumni events? Grace, that was such an excellent question.
It's very beautiful questions. I'll take them one after the other. For specific entrepreneurial skills that we're looking for, we want students who are innovative and entrepreneurial in nature. In fact, our essay questions are designed to allow you to express those innovative and entrepreneurial skills that you have in yourself. So you might have one, you might be innovative, but have yet to begin or acquire any entrepreneurial skills, basically in terms of doing an entrepreneurial action or so. But then we just want you to be able to express that, yes, you're innovative, you're an entrepreneur in your thinking. And for extracurricular activities and academic, we just want, we want students who are expressive, who are innovative, who are high-performing, exceptional students. And so it will do well, it will be an added advantage for you to be able to showcase that you have done some extracurricular activities or leadership roles in your secondary school or life before them. And for gender, yes, we'll try, like I said before at the beginning, Faith is we're very conscious of inclusivity in our organization. We're looking to have a 50-50 spread for gender, and we have no preference for a particular state or region. We're looking to open this out to everybody. And so if we have strong applicants from a particular region, it would not, we would not be biased to one particular region as against another. This is open to everybody in Nigeria. And it is we're looking to spread to be inclusive in our gender approach to pick 50% male, 50% female. But that also would not influence our decision making. We won't drop a candidate simply because he or she is male or female, as against picking another who's not as good as that. But we're looking to be as inclusive as possible in everything. And for specific opportunities for the Faith scholars, eventually, yes, apart from the financial aid support that comes to the scholar, we have mentoring with seasoned leaders who would help you in the leadership growth and the development, your career pursuit development. There'll be internship opportunities also for you to get hands-on experience within Faith, outside Faith. As we look to plan towards this, there will be opportunities for you to take in. Faith is a growing organization, but with a lot of benefits available for you. There's so much you can learn, even for aside your entrepreneur. If you want to be an entrepreneur, your entrepreneurial journey itself, Faith has everything to give you. Resources available. Aside that, also there are also opportunities you can get from being a Faith scholar in Faith Foundation. You would have as much opportunity as available to you as possible.
Thank you. So we're going to round up in about 5 or 6 minutes. So I'm going to sort of just go to questions that have not been addressed. For those who are asking questions around the essays, please go to the application page, the application link that has been shared, and I ask our colleagues to please reshare the application link again. It's on the flyer. It's there. It's straightforward. If you have any specific questions around the application portal itself, please send that email to philanthropy@faith.org. Again, for those asking, I've not written WAEC, I've not written JAM, or I've written, in terms of timelines, what we just want is that you're pre-JAM, you're pre-university or pre-polytechnic, and you're going to get admission between the end of this year and next year. And that's what it will be, because even when we go through the application and review process, if we find out that you were not admitted, it's the admission, the final verification will be you showing us your admission document. And so, yes, we do want you to do JAM, but we're not going to ask you for your JAM scores and the like. What we just want you to know is that you're eligible. But again, if you remember what Olabi said, it's competitive. We want people who are really also doing well academically that we can also then support. So it is a competitive process, and we're going to then shortlist based on all the different scenarios that we see. Joseph asked a question that if you get the scholarship, that after you get the scholarship, okay, does that mean that after we get the scholarship, once we're above 21, we'll still be under the scholarship? For us, we just, from the first point of you getting the scholarship, as long as you're below 21, we'll continue to support you. So for instance, you're 20 in the first year, you're 21 in second year, we'll continue to support you. What we just want is that at the point where the initial point of support for the scholarship is, you must be below 21, and then we'll support you to the end. Owolabi, can you speak to what also guarantees continued support after the year one of the scholarship? Thank you.
So really, for us, for what continuous support for being a fit scholar really is to say that there's something at Faith Foundation we call being fit. We want you in terms of character, in terms of person, to not be able to, or for us to be able to showcase that, yes, this particular person is a fit scholar. In terms of character, we want you to be good, be a good and upright student, so to speak. In terms of character, you do not have any behavioral, or not behavioral now, to not have any stain really on yourself and as a person. You have to be fit, as we call it in Faith Foundation. You have to be fit, and you also need to maintain a high CGPA or GPA as it may be. You need to continue performing at a very high level as a Faith scholar, and so those are the two things that are based that you're required to fulfill to continue being a Faith scholar under the Faith scholar program. Yes, good CGPA, good result, and good behavior, so to speak.
Yes.
Well, although as you go,
yeah. Okay, sorry, please go on. My apologies.
Okay, so as scholars begin to as we begin to narrow down the application process, we begin to specify more and more what it means to be faith fit, what level of CGPA you need to get for you to continue to be in the program.
Great, thank you. Well, I'm also seeing a lot of questions. This scholarship will not apply if you're looking to go into a private university in Nigeria. This scholarship will not apply if you're looking to attend a university or polytechnic outside of Nigeria. This scholarship does not apply to master's students. So again, if you're planning to go to a private university in Nigeria, this is not eligible. This is only for those looking to go to public schools that are accredited by the Nigerian Universities Commission, public tertiary schools. That's number one. Number two, we are not sponsoring outside of Nigeria, even Ghana, even South Africa. This is not going to cover that. This does not cover, it doesn't cover masters or the like do. As we've said, this is just the application process. We've not yet shortlisted. When we shortlisted, we will contact only those who have been shortlisted for the next set. Some of us have gained admission this year, and as long as you've applied, we'll be in consideration. So if you've not started, but you gained admission from the point where the application process was announced, we would consider you. So again, please ask your questions. We're rounding up at about 9:15. Please send emails to philanthropy@faithfoundation.org. Please let's send the email and the website link again for those who are interested. So Owolabi, let me hand over to you for any round-up information again on the application, the process, eligibility, timelines, and contact information, and then we can round up. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Adenike. Thank you for assisting us. Just to round off to say the Faith Scholar Program application process is open now. And deadline is the 31st of March, 2023. We're looking to see that everyone, if you have an application already ongoing, please try to complete it as soon as possible. We would not be moving the deadline date for this. And for eligibility, please, you have to be below 21 years old, seeking to get first-year admission into any public tertiary institution, whether state or federal controlled, whether polytechnic, universities, or college of education. This is open for them. If you have admission yet, but you're going to be resuming into the 2023, your studies will begin this 2023-2024 academic year. Please definitely do apply we would consider applications. And that will really be for it. You could always, if you have challenges, apply.
So sorry, I think that Owolabi's screen is frozen. But what he was saying was that if you have challenges within the application process, please send it to philanthropy@faithfoundation.org. Again, if you have technical issues, if you have problems with the website, a lot of times it is only because of internet that people have, because we've received almost 2,000 applications to date, and more than half of those applicants have completed their application. So if you have technical issues with the website, try and refresh and try to find a time to apply again. Well, we're not going to extend the application again. We've received quite a number of applicants we've received quite a number of applicants rather to date who are finished. Every question, we also have frequently asked questions that we've included on the website. For everybody that registered for this Zoom event, we will resend this video to you. We will resend the application list. We'll resend the email address to you. So thank you everyone for joining. We really appreciate your joining this. We thank you for your time. We're looking forward to receiving your applications, and what we will announce who has been shortlisted. Thank you to all those who asked that question. The questions I didn't ask is because we've addressed it at some point or the other, and I think they are largely around eligibility, courses. We're seeing a lot of questions around courses. As we said, as long as they focus on science, engineering, arts, mathematics, and technology, it falls under that. We wish you all the very, very best. A few people have also asked that if they don't get admitted, will they be also beneficiaries for some, like the mentoring and the internship? I want to suggest that for some of you who are already in universities, please go to, let me just type our website generally here. Faith Foundation has programs that we do outside of these scholarship programs for individuals who are, in some cases, who are already starting a business or who are entrepreneurial. And so I would encourage you to follow us at Faith Foundation. I would encourage you to follow our social media platforms, because we have programs. For instance, we have a program called the Next Economy Program that is a free training program for students and young people. And it's free in terms of the training, the support, the knowledge that you would get. So I want to emphasize that even though this information session is only on the scholarship program, for those of you who said you are in 200, 300, 400, 500 level students, who may not be eligible because you're not starting in year one, please go to our website. Agogo, please, can you put in the Next Economy link here, or any of the Faith School team members? Can you please put the Next Economy application link here? So for those who are in 200, 300, or 400 level, who can also apply for those programs. And so that's part of, thank you, Agogo, that's part of the encouragement we're also giving, that yes, you may not be eligible for those, because this scholarship will be starting for those who are yet to start their first year, who will just be starting their first year. But if you're in your first year and up, we have quite a number of free training programs that you will be eligible to apply for and apply to. So we would definitely encourage you. For those who apply for this program, we will make sure that we put you on our mailing list. So if there are any programs or opportunities outside of this that you're eligible for, we will consider it. And who knows, next year we may even decide that we will be considering people who are beyond 100 level. You never know, so we will do that. So please, once again, we encourage you to ask questions on the website. Go to our website, ask questions with the email provided. Follow us on our social media. And for all those that have applied, we wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And wishing you all a great Saturday. We've now formally come to the end of our session. Thank you all for joining, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So over to you, Olabi. I guess we can close out